What's going on, everybody? This is Robbie from Geek Level Asian. It's been quite a while since I made a video. It's nice to see you all again.
Even though I can't actually see you, and I'm sitting in my apartment alone, speaking to a camera, by myself, because I'm a loser. Nobody likes me. You suck. You suck!
So this particular episode is going to be a little random because I've seen so many things since the last episode. So first things first, a few weeks ago I went to the movies to go see Your Name, or Kimi no Na wa. This is definitely a tearjerker, so if you're going to go see this movie, understand that you're going to feel all the feels. Now what's interesting is that I didn't know anything about this film until I went to go see it, other than the fact that it was very popular in Japan. And when I went to go see it, I went to go see it in the English dub. Now normally I like to watch my anime in Japanese and read the English subtitles, but I screwed up and I didn't realize that I was going to see the English dub. I have to say, I was not disappointed. It was actually great. The voice acting was great. It was still a lovely story. It delivered where it needed to, and I actually read online somewhere, I don't know where, that people preferred the English dub over the subtitle. Now, I don't know because I haven't seen the other one, so I have no basis of comparison, but I was not disappointed. I actually really like this movie. I highly suggest it, and I think everyone, if you like love stories, if you like romance, if you love anime, and you love everything that comes with that, go see Your Name. Now, at first glance, the art style is pleasantly reminiscent to Miyazaki's work, but noticeably different. And in no way is it ripping off his work or ripping off his style. I think it almost pays tribute to all of the amazing films that he's given us. In the first few scenes, you notice that this movie uses CGI to create larger-than-life landscapes, while Miyazaki prefers to illustrate everything without the use of technology. And something that's great about this film is that it keeps you guessing. You really don't know exactly what's going on, even for the first hour, but it really does come together. I don't want to say too much about it, because since I didn't really know anything about the film before I went into it, I think the reason why A, I loved it so much, and B, why it was so fun, is because I got to experience it without reading reviews and reading what it was about. I got to just watch it uncover itself, watch it unfold, and it's just a lovely story. Again, it's just a great story. So again, I'm not going to talk about too much of the plot. I don't want to ruin it. That's all I'm going to say. So moving on, I'm currently watching Death Note on Netflix. So Death Note is about a character named Light Yagami who finds a notebook that has the ability to kill anyone whose name he writes in the book. I've never seen Death Note. A lot of my friends have, and they told me that I should really watch it because of how great it is. I've heard of Death Note. I've seen people cosplaying as the characters from Death Note. So I'm like, okay, let me watch it because it's probably awesome. And it is. Part of the reason why my friends wanted me to watch this is because they were like, hey, I think you'd relate with the main character. And now, knowing what it's about, I was like, why? Since Death Note has been out a little while, I feel like I could talk a little bit more about the plot without spoiling anything, and I feel comfortable saying things about it because, listen, if you haven't seen it already now, it's just your own fault. So you can imagine how intricate this story becomes because you have this character walking around basically killing people anonymously by writing their names in a notebook. The police get involved, the government gets involved, everyone's looking for whoever is murdering all these people, and that's where L comes in. L is our quirky, quiet, very pale character like many animes have. He's super weird but super cool at the same time. Since all of these murders are happening and it's a worldwide phenomenon, the people come up with a name for the person who's responsible for this, and that name is Kira. Light Yagami becomes Kira. So they bring in L because he's the best detective in the world, and he works in conjunction with the Japanese police and the government to find Kira. So he's looking for Light. So that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not even finished with it, so I don't want to say too much because there's probably some of you out there who haven't seen any of it. But I do recommend it, and I think it's going to be great. So this is going to be one of my shorter videos. I just wanted to catch everybody up on what I've been watching. I will make two separate spoiler-heavy videos for Your Name and for Death Note, just in case you want to see what I thought about the actual story so that I can talk about the stories a little bit more. Oh, and I almost forgot. New York Comic Con tickets have already gone on pre-sale, so if you did your fan verification last year, you should be set. But if you're new to Comic Con, and this is going to be the first New York Comic Con that you've ever been to, the ticket purchasing process is not the easiest thing in the world, so I highly suggest that you read up on it a little bit, because you got to do this thing called fan verification where they make you fill out a survey, and then every time you buy a ticket, you have to attach that verification to your ticket purchase. I go every year, so I'll probably see you there. I have still never cosplayed at a Comic-Con. I'm kind of disappointed in myself, but that is because I really want to go as a Power Ranger, and as we all know, those suits are not cheap. But if I was to buy a suit, I would definitely go with a Matthew Wilson helmet. He makes some of the best helmets I've ever seen. I would also go with a Halu suit, or Halu suit. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'd go with one of his suits and his, cuffs and everything. He's really good. And last but not least, if I was going as the Green Ranger, which is probably the case, I would have to get my shield from Maniac. He makes some of the best shields I've ever seen, and he makes them in different styles. He actually has analyzed the fact that when you see the Green Ranger just standing around, it's a different shield than when he's actually in an action sequence or the American show shield. So you can get different versions of the Dragon Shield from him. You just gotta tell him which one you want. And what's really awesome is that Halu suits, I don't know how to say it, and Matthew Wilson, who makes the helmets, they color coordinate the helmet and the suit. So if you want Green Ranger, yeah, you can get that, but they also make something called Evil Green, which is actually a little bit more accurate to the degraded film quality that we saw when we were kids. The Green Ranger always kind of looked maybe a little bit more, I don't know exactly what color it would be, but like turquoisey green or teal-ish green. He wasn't like jungle green, he wasn't like crayon green, he was more of a bluish green, and they make that color. So that's pretty awesome. And if that's the case, I would highly suggest getting all of your cuffs and everything from the same vendor, because what would happen is you'd have this awesome screen accurate suit, and then your cuff diamonds or for Dragon Ranger would be, that's Japanese. For Green Ranger, they would be the wrong green. They would be like crayon green, and your suit would be that bluish green. So you make sure that you go to the right vendor. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching this episode of Geek Level Asian. Please follow me on Instagram. Please follow me on Twitter. No one ever follows me on Twitter, but that's probably because I don't really log on to it. If you want to communicate with me the most, Instagram is the best way to go. Both of them are at Geek Level Asian. It's very easy to remember. Follow me on there. I probably interact with people more on there than I do even on here, because that involves me creating and editing videos. All right, I'll see you guys later.